What up, folks? This is your boy Dino, aka Episode 5. This is CaliDTO, and I have a guest this week. This is David Ardelean. Welcome.
How's it going?
Pretty great. How's it out there in Florida?
We got a cold front coming through, so it's in the 60s now. But
That's not bad.
otherwise, it's real nice under the palm trees.
Yeah, I've never been out there, but I've always been interested. So one day.
Yeah, you got a spot to come to.
So, you are a business owner, couple of different things, but first of all, let's go back in time a little bit. So are you originally from Florida or are you from somewhere else?
Yeah, I grew up down here on the East Coast, so I was in Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale area. But now I'm
Okay.
on the Southwest coast, which is the furthest south in Southwest Florida you could get, down in the Florida Everglades, Chokoloskee.
Okay. Um, so was it like a normal, high school experience, all that stuff, or
I mean, yeah, for Florida, yeah, sure. It was so Southeast Florida is real different from Southwest Florida. It's kind of like the gateways to the Caribbean and South America, so it's
uh
multicultural, lots of different kinds of friends growing up.
yeah.
So, but it was a big Florida high school. There was like 900 in our graduating class.
Wow.
It was like more than close to 3,000 student school, 9
Okay.
through 12. So it had a couple different buildings, all the full sports program, field trips, all that good stuff. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice going to like a multicultural, setting because I couldn't imagine being in like like kind of like a small town, one track kind of thing. I don't know. It isn't not the same.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely more homogenized in a small town like that. So
Yeah.
simpler, I guess. Things are simple, but it's definitely I like the big city. I like the multiculture. Mhm.
It's fun. You learn a lot from a lot of
Oh
different
yeah.
people. So you got a master you hold a master of science in environmental policy and natural resource
Yeah,
management.
environment. Yeah,
So what
that's
got you
right.
into that? What got you interested in that?
Well, I mean, I've always loved nature. I've always loved environmental science. My undergrad was in biology, and then started working in the real world,
Mhm.
doing different things with that degree. And I was a teacher for a couple of years at Miami-Dade County Public Schools, and I plateaued at that point. So they said, you got to go back to school if you want to make more money.
Okay.
Uh, or you could do an after-school sports program, which I did. And then we did the extra period supplement and all that stuff. So I just went back to school, and this was the program that FIU was offering uh, for a master's in environmental science with like policy management, more technical logistics type of accounting aspects for businesses, for institutions, for governments, environmental compliance, all that
Yeah.
stuff. It was more so that kind of stuff as opposed to tracking orchid evolution out in the field, which would have been like a basics, masters of evolutionary biology or something like that. So it had more real world application and things I could use in different businesses and things like that. So that's why I went with that.
And how was college experience for you? Were you like a party boy or what?
I loved it. I mean, that the undergrad was definitely fun and party, uh, because it was undergrad. But
Right.
once I did the grad school thing, I kind of got that's where I really learned how to read and write, and I focused on concentration and was able to kind of synthesize information and complex things. And this was before the Chat GPT and all the AI stuff that we have nowadays that could
Yeah.
just give you a final answer to whatever question you got. So yeah, it was good. I mean, listen, I I I definitely respect anyone with a master's degree or that more than that because that's yeah, it's rigorous. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even get a man, I was going for a BA, but I was struggling because raising a family, working full time, like I was doing it all at the same time, so I crashed and burned. Didn't make it
Yeah.
very far. So now I'm a
Yeah,
podcaster.
that's it. But you're the best podcaster, so
I'm something. So and then so like what happened after college? So you just you started working in the field?
yeah, I started working in the field a little bit. I realized it was really politically driven.
Mm,
So, anything that has to do with the environment kind of feels like it should be nonpartisan, right? It should be because water quality is for everyone.
right.
Doesn't matter what, air quality is for everyone. Access to produce and foods, management of the natural resources. It should be for everyone, but it gets highly politicized one way and another. This recycling program is cost prohibitive because it requires this much money and this and that. But we all know that recycling is good for the environment and it's good for the next generation and stuff. But then it becomes a partisan thing. So all that kind of really turned me off big time to it.
Yeah.
And I just decided to hang out with some friends, do some food and beverage, open up a bar, and that's what we did. That was, I know it's just one of them things. So we did that, and then that's how I started stepping into hospitality,
Okay.
uh, and that's where that was a couple years after. Yeah, it was a couple years after the master's degree. So 4, 5, 6 years, 6 years after that, I
Okay.
was just doing the government work for as much as I could, uh, doing the best I could, and it wasn't it didn't feel like the where I was at. I didn't feel like I was in charge of things. Well, you never really are in charge of
Right,
things,
right.
but I needed to be in a position in my life where I had more say so, and I couldn't be at the political will of whoever the next commissioner was, or the next mayor of the county, or the next state representatives that said they would support it or not support it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like with those kind of things you have to be like very high up in the food chain to to like to really make changes on like, especially big, big things. So
yeah,
that's unfortunate. And money money rules a lot of things. So
yeah.
and interest too, not just money. It's also interest. But yeah, that sounds fun though. I mean, like, it sucks that you couldn't like do the thing that you were trying to do, but at least like, you went into business, you opened a bar or, help open a bar, and that had to been pretty fun though, at least, right? I mean, it seems like
Oh yeah, that
it.
was that was plenty of poor choices,
Oh yeah.
made after that. But you live and learn, and it's great. It's a great industry. It's a vice industry. It's been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
It'll be around evermore.
Yeah.
Um,
People
so
need a
it's
drink.
just yeah, and I'm grateful for it because it got me to a point where when these opportunities showed up for us in Chokoloskee, my partner's hometown, in the national park, then I was like back to where I was. Because the reason why I even studied all that stuff was because I love it. I just
Yeah.
love nature. I love trees. I love air. I love the birds. I love the tides. I love fishing. All that stuff is, and I thought when I was young, you do what you love, and
Mm.
then you never have to work a day in your life because you're always doing what you love. That was like my brain set. But then with that position that I was, working with Miami-Dade Water and Sewer and doing the environmental restoration stuff and all that, those positions were very politically motivated, short term
Right.
gigs. Like I would say, I was a highly specialized gig worker, and I didn't like that, and I
Yeah, yeah.
couldn't I couldn't build a future based on that, and I didn't want to do politics and stuff like that. I wanted to kind of be in the real world.
Yeah.
uh, so it kind of brought me full circle, and it kind of then, during the pandemic, the great shutdown, that's what it
Yeah.
was. People were like, let's go out in nature, let's go camping, let's go fishing, let's get out of the city and stuff like that. And that's when it was like, okay, perfect. Yeah, it felt right. So we went Chokoloskee, this small town where my partner Aaron's from, and just started picking up opportunities, Schitt's Creek. was there,
Oh wow, yeah,
little motel in Marina that was, turning the century, needed some zhuzhing up, some jazzing. We did that.
nice.
And then Carlos and Dulce Valdez that were running the restaurant were like, "Hey, we love what you guys are doing over there. Come do this." And I'm like, "Let's try it. Why not? We're on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
island. Let's do it." And then the restaurant came into the mix, and we just been at it ever since with those two businesses on that little island, building a life. Got surrounded by family and friends now, so it's a it's a nice little surreal reality, believe
right,
it or
right.
not. Yeah.
So
So
a couple of things real quick. One, I saw online. I mean, this is off topic a little bit, but like you mentioned Schitt's Creek, and somebody took a picture of like the motel like reopening or some shit like that, like or like they were like teasing like some kind of like something like of production, and I was like, huh, interesting. And I never followed up to like look at it. But have you heard anything about that? Like since you're like from that area, or
what, the Schitt's Creek?
yeah, the Schitt's Creek Motel or whatever it was, the where they filmed
I
the okay.
I could, to be honest, I don't. I know that when where they filmed it, I know that was up in Canada.
Oh, it was in
So
Canada.
it's
Okay. All right.
yeah, it's got them old motel vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
This is an old motel, but it's like in the Florida style of 1950s,
Okay.
1960s breezeway. All the doors open to the outside, kind of thing.
Got it.
Um, Jazzed them up, updated them, and now people are coming. So it's
And
good.
before we transition more into like the current stuff, when you did the college thing, you did the other the bar thing, uh, do you have any like memorable stories from that bar experience where you're just like, man, that was a crazy night, like something that stands out more like as the time,
Oh yeah. So we throw it. So the neighborhood where the bar's at is it's called Wilton Manors, and they throw this huge block party every year for Halloween. They block off the streets and they throw these shenanigans and like these group costumes. I'm telling you, like you want to see stuff like this is the place to be
Oh
for
yeah.
Halloween. It's a big block party. It's wild. It's you know ridiculous situations. It was by far my favorite, most unforgettable night was at Drink Bar and Lounge was Halloween back in 2019, and that was just like the costumes, the people, the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, what exactly, what specifically? The details are a blur, but I'm telling you, it's just
Just the
like
vibe of the night. Yeah.
yeah, it was something. Wow. Yeah, for
It kind
sure.
of
Group.
not in that same vein, but like I mean, sort of in the same vein, but in Santa Cruz in California, it's on the coast also. So it's a
Mhm.
small college town, but it's on the coast. And every year for Halloween, they open up because there's like a couple of dive bars downtown that are there's only like a few bars downtown, right? It's mostly like business stuff. And but at the end of the strip, there's basically like two or three bars. And but they close down on Halloween. They shut off the whole street at night, and so they fence it up everything. So there's a bar walkthrough, and so everybody dresses up every year. Everybody gets wasted. They walk down the street. Like shenanigans happen. There's
Oh
always
yeah.
cops and stuff, but it's always just a good time. But obviously COVID happened and that kind of stopped things for a minute. But they started doing it again. The last couple of years.
Ooh, I'll tell you a COVID story. So in the post-COVID days at the bar, we had to pivot because they had the social distancing stuff.
Yeah.
They had the mask restrictions. Like you had to keep your mask on until you take a sip. And I don't know if you remember this on HBO a couple years back. There was this series called The Leftovers.
Mm.
Uh, it was this like super creepy apocalyptic end of the world series that talks about the rapture and how everyone disappears like overnight because the second coming and all that stuff.
Right.
Well, in this freaky series, they have this one day that everyone celebrates. It's called the Rapture Day. and they set up the entire town with mannequins of
Oh,
their loved ones wearing clothes in the kitchen, in a car, at the school, all these things. It was like this super creepy episode. That's what we did at the bar. We got a bunch. We got a bunch of mannequins. We started filling up the bar, creating like social distancing spots, like little duets of mannequins with like drinks and
oh
hats
wow.
and outfits, sitting at the high top, sitting in up against the fireplace, sitting in the backyard. And then it was like like there was only a couple of spots where real people could sit
Yeah.
amongst the mannequins to have their drinks, and that they were socially distanced. And like the mannequin, people were taking pictures with it. We
Yeah.
got code enforcement called every night because people were like, oh, they're super crowded, they're not doing social distancing, they got people standing up at the bar without a mask. Those were mannequins, you
Right.
know. And it was like this brilliant way, which lends itself nicely to fishing too, because you get them with a lure, but it always works with live bait versus so somewhere in between all of it. It ended up being a brilliant story that we figured out. And we were the crazy ones. Everyone else around us were like, what the, these people lost their mind,
Yeah.
but it was perfect because people were taking pictures with the mannequins. The mannequins had mocktails, and had little napkins and little pretzels in front of them and stuff like
Oh
that.
man.
So people were laughing and carrying on. And then the outfits would change all the time: hats, wigs, like mask for mask,
Up
like
to the
these different,
imagination.
yeah,
Yeah.
all these different things. And exactly. And it was something to laugh at, something silly, something fun.
I can imagine
Um,
like a cop walking in, be like, "All right, I'm out of here."
we did, yeah, we did. The code enforcement guys came in numerous times, and they were just like, "Okay, guys, yeah."
I'm not gonna king shame, but yeah. Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something creative we were able to do in our little bar to kind of keep it going without,
I gotta find that on Instagram.
yeah, without putting up plastic covers, and we didn't put up the sheets, and like people,
Right.
other bars were doing like shower curtains for dividers and like different, you know it just, I was like, no, let's just do mannequins.
That's way, yeah, that's and way more fun to me because people are taking pictures and all that stuff. And yeah,
It was. But again, it was creepy because it kept reminding me of that
yeah,
episode from The Leftovers.
I gotta
That
check that
was,
out now.
yeah, it's something. Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then so that's when you transition into like the stuff you're doing now, which is the motel and the cafe, right?
Mhm. Yeah, around that time, things were getting real stressful. It was the post-pandemic. Not a lot of people knew what was happening or what was going to happen. Um, there's a new president coming in, and there was like all these different changes and stuff. So at that point, we just, we're in Aaron's small town, hometown of Chokoloskee, and that's when I came across this opportunity and said, you know what, let's try it. We can run this motel, Marina, sell shrimps, fuel, beer,
Okay.
cigarettes, you know, motel rooms, all that stuff. So we did that for a year, and then the restaurant came up, and we said, well, let's try to work with Carlos and Dulce and see if they want to, because the restaurant on the island is like a big thing. Like everyone kind of gets together there. All
Right.
the different trailer parks, people come up with their golf carts, they ride their bikes, all that. So it's kind of important for the community. So,
Yeah.
that's when we stepped in and kind of been having a lot of fun ever since. That's for
I can
sure.
imagine because you said it's kind of a small community, right? So I mean,
So Chuck, yeah, there's about 300 people that live there year round.
okay.
In the winter time, it kind of swells up to 3,000 people.
Okay.
There's three trailer parks, and it has a lot of snowbirds, a lot of weekend seasonal folks, a lot of tourists that come through.
Right.
The National Park Visitor Center just opened up. It's right across the causeway from us, and it's old Florida vibes. The island itself, Chokoloskee, it's got like a stone crabber that comes in and out, brings fresh stone crabs, and then it's got history, like the first trading post with the Indians
Mm.
back 100 and after the Seminole Indian Wars in the 1860s. You know, it got settled, and it has tombstones from Civil War
Wow.
vets that are buried there from back in the day. So it predates all of Collier County. It predates all because they didn't have cars and trains down here. People would get around by boat.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
boat, yeah, that's how it was. They'd go from Fort Myers to Chokoloskee, from Chokoloskee down in the Keys.
Wow.
That was our coastline over there. So yeah,
That's cool.
it's yeah, it's got a rich history. That's what I like about it compared to 'cause most of the rest of Florida was built after the 1950s. It's all post World War II construction, you know,
Right.
and stuff like that. And I mean, even now they're building a lot. Florida's changing big time since the pandemic. All the everyone's moving, Central Florida, South Florida, all that stuff. But luckily for us, we still got this little corner pocket of old Florida vibes to keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you guys are always busy, or well, at least during the tour season, right? I mean, that's
Yeah,
the height of
yeah,
it.
during the yeah, because we are in the Everglades, so during the summer months it gets hot and buggy. So
Mm.
we actually, before us, it was everything would be closed for like 5 months out of the year, 6 months out of the
Okay.
year. So now we've kind of extended the season because we got to pay bills,
Right. Yeah.
and we're there. The restaurant 7 months out of the year they're open, 8 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then after that, we're just a couple of we're on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and then we're just closed August and September because those are the doldrum months. That's when it's
Okay.
the hottest. That's when it's the buggiest. That's when there's rain every day. It's hurricane season,
Okay.
so it's a beast. But otherwise, I mean, this part of Florida is old Florida, so that means it's seasonal. That
Right.
means
Right.
it's got a boom and a bust. All the new Florida, like the East Coast, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, St. Pete, Orlando, those are year round. That's like those have huge populations and economic engines and tourism and all that stuff that doesn't depend on nature and the elements like we do down there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know jack about Florida, so like, it's
yeah.
interesting to for you to talk about it. But
Mhm.
so so how is that like when it's like, when it's busy that time of year and the motel's thriving, just booked. Do you always run into like a lot of problems of like people like while acting up and stuff like that, or is it just kind
You
of
know,
like
For
not
the
too bad?
most part, yeah, for the most part, we're off the beaten path down here.
Okay.
So it's a destination in itself. A lot of people find us by accident. They just
Uh,
keep driving on the road, Highway 29 till the end of it, and they're just like, "Where are we? What are we doing? I thought I'm going to the Florida Keys." But it's not the Florida Keys. It's a little island off the coast in the 10,000 islands that reminds people of the Florida Keys, how it once was 30 years ago before the Florida Keys got overbuilt
okay.
and over commercialized. And, it still has that element of untapped potential. Like it still has that vibe of exciting to see what is going to happen, but it's also sleepy and quiet. It
Okay.
doesn't, there's no ambulances, no airplanes, a couple of kids without shoes on driving their dirt bikes is the biggest ruckus that happens around the island. But otherwise, it's a small town. It's quaint.
Okay.
It's peaceful, and it's real MAGA. That's for sure too. That's
Mm.
real exciting. So there's a lot of spirited old timers that got a lot to say.
Uh,
It's a thing. It's a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's what people do, when when they're not fishing, they're just talking. Everyone in Florida talks politics. It's wild. It's crazy. Like it's such a big deal. It's like
Yeah.
the main pastime of things to do down here. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I wouldn't fit in there. I'm not a political person. This is kind of
yeah,
what it is. So, um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of heard that too about Florida in general. There's,
Mhm.
a lot of that, but to each his own. Um, and so you guys opened up, the Parkway and the Havana at the same time, or was that just like a separate timelines?
So yeah, so it was about they were about a year and a half apart from one another. We started with the Parkway Motel and Marina,
Hmm.
which has been in operation as the first tourist destination lodging and accommodation a fishing camp on the island since 1959 when they built the causeway
Hmm.
that comes from the mainland to our little island there. Before that, people could only get there by boat.
Right.
And Aaron's family that used to live here before the causeway was built would take the school bus boat to the mainland to Everglades City to go to school every day.
Wow.
So that's that's
That's
that's the
wild.
old Florida that they're dealing with. Um, but after 1959, when the our little motel was built, it was in operation ever since. The Smallwood family ran it, owned it, and operated it up until the 90s when Jeff and Beth White purchased it from them. That's Aaron was a teenager at the time. That was first job, counting shrimp, pumping gas, doing all kinds, and then and then they sold it to Bill and Jerry, this older couple that moved down from Virginia in the
Hmm.
early 2000s, and then they sold it to us. So it's like the chain of command is accounted for this parcel, this property. The stewardship is passing on from one hand to the other, and
Right.
it feels good because it's like kind of full circle for Aaron to be back where back to the basics, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your first job as a teenager, you know,
That
and
is pretty cool.
it's kind of yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
plus, he grew up here, so all the family, all the cousins, everyone from school, it was kind of like a homecoming. It was easy to kind of get into the mix and be hometown heroes. So that was in the post pandemic, in 2021, 2022. 2022, we started with the restaurant. That's when we were working alongside Carlos and Dulce. I did some catering gigs when I was in college.
Mm.
So I have some cooking experience and some serving experience. So I was working with Carlos and Dulce to learn all the recipes of Cuban cuisine. Cuban food is big down in South Florida. It's like such a big Cuban population in
Mm.
Miami and
Yeah.
Tampa. And everyone says that we got the best Cuban sandwiches because it's just that slow mojo marinated pork shoulder that we do from the
Okay.
night before, and we fresh bake all of our bread. So it's like I'm using the same techniques and same old school everything that Dulce and Carlos was doing in the kitchen, which makes it authentic. It's like a
Yeah.
slow. It's not cheating and doing it the fast American way of taking it out the freezer and dropping it in the fryer.
Right.
We
Right.
actually hand cut through the Gillian every morning, all of our French fries, and we soak them in the
Nice.
water, and then we, wash it out, change out the water, and then put it in the,
It's a
put it on
process.
the line for the fryer. So it's a different process. People taste it, they'll recognize it, they'll, foodies love it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you can tell. Yeah.
yeah,
You can tell when things are made. You're just like it blows your mind.
yeah, yeah. It's getting like the flavors come together like in a way that's old school, like it's like authentic, it's
Yeah.
genuine. So that's what we're going for this season. We're able to get all of our produce from here from Florida, so it's regionally grown, fresh from Florida produce. Most of our proteins are from Florida, from the Gulf over here, so that's nice. And then anything else, we just could try to get it, you know through one of the providers that's not too far away. But
Right.
we're working on that too. Like I'm trying to reach out to local farms so we can get more pork and chicken and
Okay.
beef. Yeah. So, but otherwise, yeah, it's great flavors, great food, great vibes. We do like pop-up special events every now and again.
Hmm.
Live music on weekends. It's definitely worth checking out. It's
Right,
definitely
right.
worth checking out when you're visiting Everglades National Park or Big Cypress or Fakahatchee, any of those places where have you seen Path of the Panther on Hulu?
No.
So it won 2024's Documentary of the Year award.
Hmm.
And it follows the story of the Florida Panther and the whole regeneration of it. Most of that was filmed down here in our neck of the woods.
Okay.
Fakahatchee State Park is like the frontier forested park where there's like river otters and bears and raccoons and opossums and panthers and stuff like that. It's a very biodiverse, lots of orchids too. Lots of different types of trees and different orchids, different humidity levels, water. They call it the Amazon of North America, the Fakahatchee. It's such
Hmm.
a biodiverse, concentrated place, and that's here. It's like 15. That's my favorite place to go mountain biking. I'll take my off-road bike and just get out there and just get away from everyone. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
sometimes I forget there's like pockets in the US that are like so lush and like different, you know? And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh man, it would be cool to like once in my life check it out.
Oh yeah. Well, load up the minivan. Come on
Right, I
down.
know. God. No, I had one minivan one time. It was an old shitty one, and I never again. I hated that thing. I always told myself I'm gonna get a rocket launcher and just shoot it. Um,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
how's the cafe experience? Because I mean, like I imagine it's different than like being in like a big city, right? I mean, it's got to be.
yeah, it's definitely crickets. When it's crickets, it's slow, it's quiet, and there's like no one there. It's keeping the staff motivated. Staffing is hard when you're in a small town, in a remote small town.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Like you do the best you can with what you got. Grandma is helping a couple of days a week.
Okay.
The neighbors are helping a couple of days a week. And, everyone does a little bit, and you could do a lot. That's how it is. But the new thing here in Florida is they get these J6 visa programs. They go to like other countries and bring like workforce for hospitality
Okay.
in remote small town island places. And someone told me, he's like, oh, well, now you got to consider doing that. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that type of hospitality, you know,
Right. Right.
bring hospitality workers from overseas to work these local jobs and things like that. So we stayed true to it, and little by little, like this year, we got two teenagers working with us,
I was
local
just gonna say,
teenagers.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Who's
that's a big thing. We're
yeah.
super excited about that, and we got more and more local folks that are bringing, whether they can work part time or a little bit or show up and show out.
Right.
Um, the grandkids are coming down and staying
Okay.
with their grandparents in the trailer and helping work down here. So, for different reasons. But otherwise it's a remote old school Florida. And it's got this cool, like we got this amazing story of that's coming out. There's this new documentary movie about our Chokoloskee specific. Have you ever heard of Miami Vice?
Yeah.
So that's real. They really brought drugs into America through the Florida Everglades like
Okay.
crazy. Like wow. And this family that lives right next door to us, the Daniels family, were the saltwater cowboys of the time, and they were like
Wow.
they used to run millions of tons of marijuana, but they were wholesome. They were Christian, right? So they were wholesome. They were Christian. They only did weed. They never
Okay.
did quaaludes. They never did cocaine. They all swear by it, like all that stuff. It was just like it was like the wholesome because it's legal now, right? Weed is
Yeah.
legal.
Well,
So
it's funny because you made it seem like it was like cocaine or something, and then you said weed. I'm like, oh, who cares?
I know, but that was a big that in back in the
I
60s
know.
and 70s. That
Yeah.
was, I mean, Reagan did the war on drugs, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was a big deal for until they
But that
figure it out.
was, but if we get deeper, that's also because of like racism and stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so this pocket of Florida's got that outlaw element to it,
Okay.
which is kind of fitting because it's wild, it's untamed.
I
It's
already
there.
have an idea for it, a horror film for you guys.
Listen,
We can
throw in
talk off
alligator
camera.
Alcatraz because that's 20 minutes from us, the alligator Alcatraz. So like throw all that into the mix and you got like this weird, unique, special thing that German tourists come from Germany, from Berlin to do kayaking down here. And they're like, yeah, das ist gut. Yeah. And you're just like, welcome. So it's it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So that's like that's the big draw down here. Plus you can see alligators, you can see crocodiles, you can see wild dolphins, sawtooth billfishes,
Mm,
panthers. You can't see them all the time. You see their paw prints more so, but the little bears, you'll see them, a white-tailed deer. So and then so many birds. Like they do the Autobahn does their bird count because this
okay.
is like a stopover for the North American birds before they fly into the Caribbean
Mm,
and South America. So kingfishers, cormorants, different types of anhingas, frigates, white pelicans, like all these like different Rosetia spoonbills.
wow.
Yeah, just real, and it's a lot. There's a lot of birds, a lot of birds. Yeah. So
Sometimes you
yeah,
forget how many like different wildlife there is until you just started naming them. I'm like, Jesus, that's a lot.
yeah, and that's
That's
just
only like
that's
a
just the tip of
fraction.
the iceberg.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
That's the ones I remember off the top of my head. There's so many things I don't know. And then the migrating fish too. Like January, February, we got the Spanish mackerels that come through.
yeah. Mm,
You always have sea trouts, you always have redfish, you always have black drums, you always have snook, flounder, all these things. But then in the summertime, you got the tarpons that come through. So that's worth fishing. That's a good sport fish. Um, and then snappers all day. Snappers, mangrove snappers, mutton snappers, lane snappers, grout, like all these different. Oh, it's just cobias all the time. So it's plenty of fishing to do down here too.
right.
Um, with the live bait, like I said, you always get action with live bait. Some of the lures, the ones that got the movement in them, those are the good ones. And then you just, and that's universal. Everyone
Okay.
can relate to that. You get the shrimp on the hook, put the hook in the water, keep that line tight, and then you set the hook. You feel them going for it. You set the hook, and then you reel them in, keep it away from the mangroves, keep it away from the propeller, and just get them in the boat. Measure him out. If he's not big enough, catch and release. If he's
Right.
good, then you bring him home and you fillet. So that's universal. All kinds of kinds, guys, girls, Americans, immigrants, anyone can kind of like can figure it out. That's how we do it. That's the equalizing, leveling playing field down here when you're on a boat. So
I've never been a fisherman, but I've
no,
always, yeah.
yeah. What kind of fishing do they do out there? You guys have deep water. It's deep water over there.
Well, I mean, let's see. I have family in Sacramento, which is, a little more headed towards like the Central Valley kind of.
Mhm.
And so they have rivers and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of fish is out there, but my grandpa, my uncles, they all fish out there too, when they can. But now my grandpa's like in his 80s, so
Mhm.
he's not out there anymore.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, still parties. That guy's a maniac. But
Any way to engage with nature if it's fishing, plus you get to drink when you're
oh
fishing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a nice thing to do too,
I
you
got a
know.
family of drinkers, so it's like, they're always getting down and arrested. Yeah. But nobody, and it's weird. Nobody here closer to me in the Bay Area don't fish, except for my brother. But he goes to like a reservoir, I think, close by where he lives.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but I don't know the types of fish or nothing like that. But they're out there sometimes.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a great pastime. Gives you good
Yeah,
reason be on a boat, you know.
Relaxing and stuff. Yeah.
Be on a boat. Yeah. What are you doing on the boat? I'm fishing, you
Just
know.
having
And
some
fishing is
beers. Yeah.
different. Yeah, fishing is different from catching. That's a whole different thing. Fishing is just you attempting at it. Catching is
Right.
when you come home with a harvest, you know.
Yeah.
And not every day is a good day because it depends on the tides, it depends on the water temperature, it depends on the moon. Believe it or not, the moon
Right.
makes a
Right.
big deal. If it's a full moon, they're feeding at night, so like they're not that hungry. They're fussy, you know. And that's the thing. The redfish, those are the ones that you have to like put it right in front of their faces as they're swimming
Uh,
by, and even then they don't always take the bait. So it's
uh,
uh it's a thing. It's like it's a game, and it's also a challenge, and it's also something that you can eat, which is great when it's fresh. And it's also a sport. You just, sometimes you just don't feel like filleting, and you're just like, I got hot dogs at home. Don't worry about it.
I'll eat the processed stuff. Yeah.
No, it's all good.
So so for you, like what's the hardest thing for you to catch out there in your area?
Probably the slot snook. That's the big prize right there. It has to be between 28 and 32 inches, the slot. And
Oh,
when they have a hard palate, a roof on their mouth is so hard that they always shake it. So the snooks, once you get one on the line,
yeah.
they always jump up out the water, and they'll whip their heads back and forth and their tails. They make such a dramatic scene.
They're
Like
trying to get
it's
away. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
it's 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 a thing. And then when they do that, they alert everyone else in the vicinity that there's danger, there's fishermen there.
Right.
So, and they always shake the hook. That's the thing too. Like
Okay.
they're able to shake it because they're so violent and
Yeah. Yeah.
full throttle about it. And they
Fighting
jump
for their
out.
life.
Yeah, they jump out the water and everything, and it's just like, oh.
Telling everybody to
And
run.
yeah, they're gill slits too. Like if you try to grab them by their gill slits like that, you'll cut your fingers
Oh
because
wow.
they have this
The
sharp bone.
scales.
Yeah,
Okay.
they got this sharp scale bone that's literally gonna slice you
Slice. Yeah.
up. And they always flail. As soon as you go to grab them, they always like shake their head and like
Yeah.
it's just
Compressing
it's
and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's
Oh
it's
man.
something. Those, but the food, I'm telling you, if you've had sea bass, Chilean sea bass, or anything like that, white flaky compartments of fillet, that's what a snook is like. That's what
Mm.
a snook is like. But their skin's got like a soapy vibe to it, so you really got to take the skin off altogether.
Okay.
You got to definitely when you fillet them, then you depart the skin from the fillet. Um, they were called soapfish back in the day because people would try to make them, but it just there's so much bubbles and so much soapy stuff coming out their skin and their scales that the early settlers were just like, ugh, let's get rid of these.
Right. Huh.
And then you got the ladyfish; those are always fun. They're like a smaller version of the snooks. They're great for bait, but they also flail and they jump and they they're a lot of commotion, a lot of action, but they're a lot more complacent. Look, after a little while, they play hard to get, and then they're like, okay, all right,
I
like
give up.
you know,
Maybe if I just stand
the,
still, they'll think I'm dead or.
the ladyfish, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So, but yeah, it's great. I mean, it's this is probably the best part of Florida to do inshore fishing. If you like shallow water, it's like maybe 20 foot deep, maybe
okay.
25-foot deeps in certain pockets. Plus the 10,000 islands, you get so many birds, wading birds, and it's challenging. It's really challenging fishing because of the tides and the elements and things like that. But if you come down, we'll hook you up with a fishing guide. It'll be like an unforgettable experience.
Hmm.
The green flashes are gorgeous. Like all this picture behind me, this is from our marina. This is what the umbra
Wow.
of the sunsets look like almost all the time. The
Man.
vanilla skies in the summertime, like the clouds with the coloration, that's gorgeous. The shooting stars at night, like just
Mm.
these past couple of days, like the night sky, you can see the satellites, Elon
Oh,
Musk,
cool.
all of Elon Musk's satellites. It's like a pearl, like they just kind of like move across the sky like that. Um, and then any planet stuff, whenever there's like conjunctions or lunar somethings that people come out with their telescopes and they stay with
Right.
us and they just set it up because there's very little light pollution and we're really far south.
Okay.
So we're pretty much in the tropics, almost to the tropics is what they say. So, but we get some great night skies, heat lightning in the summertime, like
Huh.
those clouds that just kind of like blink and just kind of like Twitter, lightning things up top. So it's
Huh.
definitely something worth seeing. Um, and then yeah, you just get the way the light hits the Gulf and then it comes up through the atmosphere and then it makes for some gorgeous scenery. Well, you're West Coast. You've seen that California golden hour before. So I
Yeah,
mean, what
and
is that?
sometimes it also depends on the elevation where I'm at. There's some incredible, star view.
Hmm.
Because like I said, when I lived in Santa Cruz, I used to live on campus, and it was I had one night I got really mad because my phone died and I had no way of getting back to my house, so I had to walk like 3 miles, like uphill. So like I was just drunk and like upset, So I'm just like just walking like a zombie, but like the entire time I'm walking up. The stars are bright and big, and I'm just like, whoa, like I was set on that because I was like, okay, well, at least that's entertaining me,
Yeah,
and I think maybe I might have seen like one or two shooting stars,
yeah,
but I was like, that was okay, that was worth it, even though I'm tired and I just want to crash before I go to work tomorrow, stuff like that. Uh,
yeah.
that was a dumb night.
It's it's that sky. If you get out the city and you're able to see that night sky, it's humbling because
Yeah,
it's impressive. What a vast universe. And you gotta some of them stars that you're seeing in the night sky, they're not there anymore because it
right,
takes it takes millions of years for the light to travel, right?
right.
Or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's got it's so that's pretty trippy and epic as
So
well.
it's a weird like perspective, right? I mean, of like the the amount of time and distance it takes for light to travel, because even if we traveled, I think it said like if we traveled at the speed of light, it would still take us like millions of years just to get to the Andromeda galaxy or
Right,
something. It's
right.
crazy. I'm like, damn, that still speed of
Yeah,
light still takes that long. But anyway, um,
yeah.
so what do you guys have going on for like Christmas coming up, and then you have New
Oh,
Year's?
yeah, so we're doing a big holiday party at the Toch Brown house. Toch Brown was one of the first settlers on the island, one of the first pioneers. So we're hosting a big community event, potluck, games,
Mm.
music, drinks, food, all that stuff for everyone on the 25th of December at 2 o'clock at the Toch Brown House, which, if you don't know, you'll see all the golf carts and all the people there. Uh, and then New Year's Eve, we're doing a big bonfire and fireworks on the hill. There's only one
Uh,
hill that's
okay.
open, a big open hill on the island. And it's a great gathering spot for folks to kind of get together and to meet their neighbors, to set intentions for 2026, to, scream at the fire for 2025, all that stuff, and then just kind of like get together with neighbors in the community, and that's usually a nice little event. It's not big,
Right,
but
right.
we'll get like maybe 100 people, 100 and
I mean, it's
maybe
big for that community.
it's
Yeah.
big for it's big for our neighborhood and our community. It's not, it's got that small town vibe. Everyone
Right.
knows everyone, which is it gives you that element of safety as well, because it's like when you go to some of these big music festivals and there's like 20,000 people and you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, you lose your friends, your phone, you're good luck trying to find them
Screwed,
again,
yeah.
you know. But here it's like, oh, have you seen that? Oh, that guy, the guy with the mullet. Oh yeah, just walk over there. He's right over there. You know, like, look, whatever. It's a cool thing to be in a small town like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I've never let's see. I think the town I grew up was still had a lot of people, how many 70,000 or something like that, which is weird because it didn't seem like it. But as far as population goes, that's what it said on the
Mhm.
thing. I'm like, man. But every now and then I'll if I'm ever driving through to go visit somebody somewhere, I'll see towns that are like 500, and I'm like, wow, it's like literally a dirt road. Like
It's
it's
like,
just,
yeah,
yeah, weird.
the same the same five families intermarried.
Yeah. They have blue skin now. That's crazy.
This, I'm telling you, it's a thing. So yeah, that's what's going on this month. Next month we got a drag show on the 17th of
Okay.
January. That'll be something. Naples Pride is coming down, so they're going to do a fundraiser for that. And then Seafood Festival is in February. That's a big deal. That's a big community-wide block party event. Uh, Valentine's Day weekend. I think it's that weekend that it's in February. Uh, Lots of local artisans and crafts, food,
Mm,
beverage, live music, and it's like I don't know, like $20 to get in. So it's not ridiculous.
right,
It
right.
used to be $5, but I think it went up because of security concerns and things like
Okay.
that. So, but it's a nice little community event in February, and then outside of that, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna hear hold on for dear life because March Madness is wild down here
Really?
with spring break and
Oh, okay.
everyone, all the birds coming through, all the fish migrating through. It gets wild. So, but outside of that, we're
But that's
just
when you probably make the most money, right?
that's when we have the most covers. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We could do anywhere from 400 to 500 customers a day. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is a lot, which is a
Yeah,
lot
that's
for us. Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say so, yeah.
yeah. That's
That's fun.
a lot of pork.
I was
So,
curious. I was curious because, like you said, politically it's heavy there. Um, but like you mentioned a drag show, I'm like, were people in town like, what? Or were
isn't
they
that
just
something, right? I
yeah.
know. I know. It's one of them things. It's one of them things. People are praying for us, right? We're gonna pray for y'all. Y'all y'all are going, y'all are doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But on the flip side, it's also, a lot of the people here understand, well, I guess, because it's an island of outlaws, right? And it's like outlawed in so many cities and
Right,
state
right.
in our state here in Florida. So many people have taken positions against that type of entertainment,
Yeah.
against that type of thing. Like I'm sure you've heard about it, the bans and the laws against public performances or
Yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. So it's kind of like, well, it is what it is, one of them things. So it for a lot of people that have never seen it before, that don't know it, that can't understand it, that have come to our place and have seen it or have seen videos of it or have talked to someone from church that came out to scope it out to see it, they all get to the same conclusion. And it's like, well, I guess it's not that bad. It's like
Yeah.
my,
Yeah, I actually had a good time.
yeah, well, I guess it's no different than the Vegas showgirls,
Yeah.
with their song and dance and music and performances and big hair and rhinestones and all of
Yeah,
that. It's just kind of
literally
it's
just a
just
show.
it is, yeah, glitter and glitz and glam and
Yeah.
and so it kind of opens up doors and defuses the the whole stressful thing about the drag queens are coming to get your kids,
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
hide your kids, hide your wife, yeah. So it kind of it takes that edge off and it's cool. Like we're also
Yeah.
we're also a resource for a lot of folks that got questions or just want
Right.
to, I've never met no one like you before, but my brother's like y'all. And you're like,
Like, huh, I don't know how to take
you know,
that.
exactly. We hear stories like, when I was locked up, I needed a cigarette.
But that doesn't make me that kind of person.
But I don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Not outside of prison, yeah.
you know.
Oh man,
it's
good stuff.
I mean, listen, it is what it is. It's
Yeah, I know,
fun.
I
It's
know.
it's it's kind of it's at the end of the day, you realize we're all people. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we're all just trying to live out here,
Yeah. And people are going to be afraid of what they don't know. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
it's
always going to
like
be that way.
so many Germans are, oh, okay, do you have alligators in your rooms around your motel? like,
You're like,
yeah,
yeah.
you have to cross the boat with the alligators right here. So
Yeah, swim
it's
fast.
yeah. Was that Atari game from back in the day, Pitfall?
Oh yeah.
The alligators would get them. Anyway, the,
Jump really hard. Okay, just
yeah,
jump
right.
really hard.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll get there.
yeah.
Well, that's it I got for this for you today. I had a blast.
Thanks. Yeah, no, thanks for taking time talking to me about all this stuff. I hope you do get a chance to come down and see
I want to.
our little corner of paradise. It's Miami's an hour and 20 minutes from us, and then Fort Myers Airport is an hour and 20 minutes from us.
Okay.
Fort Lauderdale Airport's about an hour and a half. So all three of them airports are depending on which one has sales for whatever flights and stuff like that. It's not that far. And then once you get a rental car and come down here, then we'll figure out everything else and we'll hook you up, man. Don't
Yeah,
please
that'd be
food,
awesome.
beverage, stay, all that stuff because this is part of the word and part of what we do. This is what we said yes to: hospitality and food and beverage and the natural world and elements and you know.
So I'm 41 and I've barely gone to Texas for the first time. So I'm like I haven't gone anywhere yet. I'm trying to though. I want to travel the world, or even within the United States,
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
you could. Yeah, America's big.
yeah,
America's huge and diverse. Like there's
diverse,
so
yeah.
many different cool spots to see like that. Like Aaron and I did our coastline. We went to San Francisco, rented an RV, and drove up to Seattle this past summer.
Oh, cool.
And that was one of the coolest trips. I mean, Crater
Yeah.
Lakes was cool. The coastline is amazing. The redwood forest is
Hmm.
amazing. The Olympic Peninsula, there's volcanoes up there. It's amazing.
That
Oregon is gorgeous. Yeah, all of
that's
it.
one thing I've wanted to do is drive the coastline. I haven't done it yet, but I'm
You
like,
got to, yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it's one of those things that's like weighing on my head.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
not
one
getting
day.
any younger, that's for sure.
Oh
And
man, I feel it.
things get harder the older you get because you get fussy and you have
Yeah.
you like I look at my sister-in-law and she's like fussy, like she needs a specific kind of pillow, she needs a specific kind of fan for her, she needs a specific kind of specific, like all of these like specific things, and then you kind of become like trapped in your own in your own house and with your own comfort and
Like
stuff like
I'm trying, I swear.
yeah. But yeah, that's life. So
Oh man, my bedtime's like 11 now. What? No, that's not true. I was up to like 3 last night. But
yeah,
yeah.
well, that's how it
Uh,
is. Monday night.
I have a weird work schedule anyway. And like 2 days a week I close, and it's like, and closing is late for us. So, I'm like finally settled down by like 11 o'clock at night. And then that's when I'm playing video games or whatever,
That's
or
it.
podcasting stuff, like
That's it. Yeah.
trying to spend the best time I can with what I
De-
have.
decompress a little.
So
So,
anyway,
well, thank you, man. Thanks for
yeah,
making
man,
time
just
to getting the helping get the word out and all of that. And you let us know when you're ready to come down here
oh
anytime,
man, I would love to. I want to check it out. So I'll have all your stuff posted on the link on the description below. Um, then I'll let Joseph know. Well, him, thank you. You, thank you. It was an honor, and
Perfect.
I'll
All
try
right,
to get
brother.
this
Keep
out
on
as
keeping on.
good. It's good speaking with you, but we'll talk soon.
All right. We'll
All right,
talk soon, man. Yeah, anytime.
have a good day.
Adios.